Hello, I am İsmail ERCAN, industrialization expert. This podcast is prepared with our document designed to analyze Zimbabwe's import features and offer solution. By the way, I recommend exploring Zimbabwe natural beauty, and the podcast is starting now.
Or even just picture your local supermarket shelf looking, well, strangely bare of everyday cleaning products. How dependent are we really on these seemingly mundane, basic necessities?
It's quite a sobering thought, isn't it?
It really is. Our daily lives, our comfort, our hygiene, they're all intricately tied to the continuous availability of manufactured goods that, honestly, we often take entirely for granted.
Completely.
Today, we're not just observing, we're embarking on a deep dive. We're looking into the complex, yet incredibly vital world of national industrialization, trade imbalances, and the strategic pathways countries can take to secure their economic futures.
Right. Our mission, if you like, is to understand how nations can transform themselves, how they can go from being mere consumers of basic goods to becoming robust producers and then hopefully successful exporters.
Exactly. And our specific focus will be on Zimbabwe. It serves as a really compelling and frankly vivid case study for this. We'll be meticulously examining its current trade landscape, really zeroing in on those critical sectors we just mentioned, cleaning products and plastics. From there, we'll broaden our view a bit. We'll explore the immense, often untapped, opportunities presented by Africa's ambitious regional trade blocs. We want to ask how these interconnected markets could be a true game changer.
And crucially, we won't just talk about the problems, right?
No, definitely not. We'll draw inspiration from a detailed, modern proposal for something called an Industrialization Institute, which is designed to address these very challenges head-on.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and to sort of anchor this vision in reality, we'll then cast our gaze back to a powerful historical blueprint, Turkey's first five-year industrial plan. It's a real testament to state-led economic transformation from back in the 1930s.
A historical perspective is always valuable.
Absolutely. We have a rich stack of sources for this deep dive, everything from detailed trade statistics spanning a whole decade to proposed project plans that offer really granular solutions.
Right.
We've also got in-depth research reports and some fascinating historical analyses. All of this is designed to give you, the listener, a comprehensive, nuanced understanding of this absolutely vital topic and hopefully equip you with some profound insights.
Sounds like a thorough exploration.
Let's begin this journey then. Okay, let's unpack this with some hard data. When we scrutinize Zimbabwe's total foreign trade data, this is for all products from 2013 to 2023, what picture immediately emerges?
Well, the numbers drawn from our sources, they really do paint a vivid and, let's be honest, a challenging economic position.
Right. Over this decade, Zimbabwe's annual exports have generally hovered in the range of, $4 billion to $7 billion, starting around $4.07 billion in 2013 and climbing up to $7.23 billion by 2023.
Which sounds like growth on the surface.
Exactly. Sounds like growth, right? But here's the rub. Imports consistently outpace these figures. They range from around $5 billion to, frankly, eye-watering $9 billion annually.
Wow.
Yeah, for example, $7.24 billion in imports back in 2013, peaking at $9.2 billion in 2023. This creates a pretty consistent problem for the national balance sheet, wouldn't you say?
Indeed, it absolutely does. And what's particularly striking here, as you highlight, is that this persistent disparity translates directly into a significant and consistently negative current account balance.
Right.
This isn't just a minor economic fluctuation. It really signals a deep-seated structural issue within the economy. Consider these specific figures. Back in 2013, Zimbabwe faced a deficit of minus $3.17 billion.
Okay.
It actually deepened to minus $3.29 billion in 2015. And even by 2023, it remained a substantial minus $1.97 billion.
So it's still nearly $2 billion negative.
Exactly. And what this means in very practical terms for every person living in Zimbabwe is that year after year, more money is continuously leaving the country to pay for imported goods and services than is flowing in from its exports.
A constant outflow.
Yes, this continuous outflow of capital indicates a fundamental and frankly precarious reliance on external economies. And that inevitably leads to various economic pressures like currency depreciation and a real struggle to build up foreign reserves. This raises a truly important question for anyone trying to gauge a nation's economic health. How much of its import bill can a country actually cover with its export earnings?
That's the key metric, isn't it?
It really is. To truly understand the depth of Zimbabwe's imbalance, we need to look at the import-export coverage ratio. Now, for those unfamiliar, this ratio is simply a country's total export value divided by its total import value for a specific period, often expressed as a percentage.
Pretty straightforward.
Very straightforward, yet incredibly powerful. It's a strong indicator of a nation's ability to, live within its means on the global stage. Looking at Zimbabwe's overall ratios, for all products, we see generally low and concerning figures. They fluctuated from a mere 56.19% back in 2013 up to a somewhat improved 78.53% in 2023. But there was a worrying low point of just 45.05% in 2015.
Barely covering half its imports that year.
Exactly. Remember, a ratio below 100% signifies a trade deficit. You're spending more internationally than you're earning. Zimbabwe's consistently low figures are a clear signal of a chronic, significant reliance on imports across the board year after year.
So not just a blip.
Not at all. And to put this in stank perspective, if we briefly contrast this with the Africa aggregation figures, that's the average for the continent,
right.
The ratio was 99.47% in 2013 and 88.83% in 2023. And world figures, as you might expect, tend to hover very close to 100%.
So Zimbabwe is significantly below the African average, let alone the world average.
Precisely. This comparison vividly illustrates that Zimbabwe's deficit isn't just a slight dip. It's a deep-seated, persistent pattern that really sets it apart from broader continental and global trends. It's a fundamental challenge to its economic sovereignty.
Okay, here's where it gets really fascinating and maybe, like you said, a bit alarming. While the overall picture of Zimbabwe's trade deficit is certainly challenging, when we zoom in on specific, everyday product categories like plastics and cleaning supplies, the numbers become even more stark. They reveal a fundamental economic vulnerability that I think few people fully appreciate. Because these aren't luxury markets or niche industries we're talking about.
No, these are basic.
These are basic, indispensable goods for modern life, forming the very fabric of our daily existence. Let's start with plastics. This is categorized under Product 39, plastics and articles thereof, in the trade data we looked at.
Okay.
The disparity here is quite dramatic. Zimbabwe's exports in plastics are extremely low, often barely hitting $10 million annually. For example, in 2013, plastic exports were a mere $9.4 million.
Tiny.
Tiny. And even by 2023, they only nudged up to $10.7 million. Now, brace yourself for the import side. Plastics imports are in the hundreds of millions. In 2013, Zimbabwe imported $203.2 million worth of plastics.
200 million versus 9 million exported.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this figure actually soared to $322.2 million in 2023, even peaking at an astonishing $382.19 million in 2022.
Wow, that's a huge number.
It is. And this massive influx creates an equally massive current account deficit just for plastics. It consistently ranges from minus $193.8 million in 2013 to minus $311.4 million in 2023, hitting its highest deficit at minus $374.2 million in 2022.
Just for plastic.
That's for plastics.
Right.
And the import-export coverage ratio for plastics is critically, almost unbelievably low.
Okay, what are we talking here?
It fluctuated between a mere 2.07% in 2022 and 4.63% in 2013. It was sitting at a meager 3.33% in 2023.
3.3%.
3.3%. It is importing approximately $30 worth.
30 to 1. That's staggering.
It's staggering. That is an almost complete and strategically vulnerable in our modern world. Now let's pivot to another absolutely essential category. Cleaning products. These fall under Product 34, soap, organic surface active agents, washing preparations, lubricating preparations, etc. in the data.
Right, the everyday stuff again.
Exactly. The story here is similarly skewed, and in some ways maybe even more alarming just because of the sheer necessity of these items for health and hygiene. Zimbabwe's cleaning product exports are also very, very low, barely exceeding $1 million in most years, for instance. $1.4 million in 2013 and $1.3 million in 2023.
Again, tiny export figures.
Tiny. Imports, however, are consistently over $100 million. We're looking at $111.7 million in 2013 and $114.1 million in 2023.
So over 100 times more imports than exports.
Pretty much. This results in a consistent current account deficit for cleaning products, always over minus $100 million. For example, minus $110.3 million in 2013 and minus $112.7 million in 2023.
Another huge hole in the trade balance.
A huge hole.
Yeah.
And the import-export coverage ratio for cleaning products. Prepare yourself.
Okay.
It has ranged from an astonishing 0.15%, that's 0.15% in 2015,
0.15.
0.15%, up to 9.69% in 2020, eventually landing at a microscopic 1.18% in 2023.
1% coverage. Basically nothing.
Basically nothing. This isn't just a number. It's a stark, almost unbelievable indicator of overwhelming import dependence for some of the most fundamental goods required for public health and hygiene.
Absolutely.
These figures are more than just statistics. They represent a significant, continuous drain on national financial resources and a profound lack of domestic industrial capacity in categories that are absolutely fundamental to everyday life, from household chores to institutional sanitation.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the real insight here is how these seemingly mundane items, a bottle of detergent, a plastic container, how they become strategic national vulnerabilities.
Right.
These aren't luxury items or highly specialized industrial components that maybe only a few countries can produce effectively.
No, this is basic stuff.
Exactly. Plastics and cleaning products fall squarely under the category of basic consumer goods or staple goods. They are daily necessities, essential for hygiene, packaging, countless other aspects of modern living.
And demand is pretty constant.
Pretty constant. What's more, they are generally less affected by economic fluctuations compared to other sectors because, well, people will always need to clean and products will always need packaging regardless of the economic climate.
True.
These items also form a significant and recurring part of household budgets in any country. So this heavy reliance on imports for such fundamental items suggests a deep-seated economic vulnerability. It's like a continuous, slow leak of foreign currency.
A leak that never stops.
Exactly. It implies a significant missed opportunity for domestic job creation, for local value addition, and for the retention of vital foreign currency. A nation that cannot produce its own soap or basic plastic containers is, in essence, constantly exporting its wealth and its potential employment opportunities, which makes its economy acutely susceptible to external shocks in critical everyday areas. It really highlights that economic independence truly begins at the most basic level. You need to be able to make your own soap.
What's truly fascinating here, though, and maybe offers a glimmer of immense potential, is this. While Zimbabwe faces these significant domestic production challenges, it also exists within a larger, incredibly dynamic continent, a continent that's pursuing really ambitious plans for economic integration.
Ah, yes. This is where the regional picture comes in.
Exactly. This is where the African Continental Free Trade Area, or AfCFTA, comes into play. It's truly a monumental undertaking aiming to reshape the economic landscape of an entire continent.
It really is huge. The AfCFTA is defined as the world's largest free trade area by the number of participating countries. It aims to encompass 54 of the 55 African Union member countries. Basically, everyone except Eritrea.
54 countries. That's massive.
Massive! This landmark agreement was signed back in 2018 and officially launched in 2021, with its secretariat strategically located in Accra, Ghana. Its very existence marks profound, intentional shift in Africa's collective economic strategy, moving away from fragmented national markets towards a unified, powerful continental bloc.
So what are the main goals here? What are they trying to achieve?
Well, the key goals of the AfCFTA are nothing short of ambitious and far-reaching. Its primary aim is to dramatically increase inter-African trade.
Trade within Africa itself.
Precisely. Shifting the focus from reliance on external partners, Europe, Asia, North America, to fostering robust trade within the continent itself. To achieve this, the plan outlines the gradual elimination of tariffs on approximately 90% of goods.
90% tariff-free.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Hugely significant. It'll drastically reduce customs costs and fundamentally boost trade volume. But it's not just about tariffs. The AfCFTA also crucially seeks to reduce non-tariff barriers.
Ah, the red tape.
Exactly. Tackling those frustrating obstacles like customs delays, bureaucratic hurdles, complex regulations that currently hinder cross-border commerce. Beyond goods, it aims to facilitate the freer movement of services and even labor, fostering deeper investment and collaboration across the continent.
Okay.
The ultimate goal, and this is truly transformative, is the creation of a single, unified African market of over 1.4 billion people with a massive $3.4 trillion GDP.
Wow.
Think about it, that provides African businesses with a much larger consumer base and the potential benefits of economies of scale that were previously only enjoyed by the largest global players.
The potential economic benefits sound enormous then.
They are indeed truly transformative. The World Bank estimates predict that full implementation of the agreement could lift a staggering staggering 30 million people out of extreme poverty by 2035.
30 million people.
30 million. Intra-African exports are projected to increase by over 81%, with the manufacturing sector, critically for our discussion today, expected to see the most significant boost.
Right, that's key for countries like Zimbabwe.
Absolutely. Ultimately, the AfCFTA aims to enable Africa to integrate more competitively into global supply chains, thereby increasing the continent's overall share in world trade. And here's a crucial point for understanding the opportunity for Zimbabwe. The combined 2023 import figures for all AfCFTA countries reveal an immense internal demand, $3.5 billion for cleaning products, and a staggering $26.6 billion for plastic products.
Just for those two categories, continent-wide.
Just those two. Totaling over $30 billion. This is not some abstract future market. This is a vast existing market that could potentially be met by African producers rather than external ones.
Offering huge concrete opportunities.
Huge opportunities for countries like Zimbabwe. Imagine a Zimbabwean plastics manufacturer, maybe currently struggling to compete with global imports, suddenly gaining preferential access to a continent-wide market worth billions. It's a potential game changer for scale and sustainability. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Zimbabwe isn't just part of the, let's say, aspirational AfCFTA. It's also already a member of two other established regional economic communities.
Right, the more local blocs.
Exactly. These offer immediate, more localized market access and cooperation frameworks right on its doorstep. These represent existing, tangible opportunities for increased trade and industrial development that are already in motion.
Okay, so which ones are we talking about?
First, there's COMESA, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. This is a major regional economic cooperation organization established way back in 1994, headquartered in Lusaka, Zambia, and it comprises 21 member countries, notably including Zimbabwe. COMESA's objectives are broad, focusing on deep economic integration and sustainable development. It aims to establish a free trade area, a customs union, and eventually a common market with free movement of goods, services, capital, and labor.
So similar goals to AfCFTA, but more regionally focused.
Exactly. And beyond trade, it also places significant emphasis on industrial and infrastructure development areas directly relevant to Zimbabwe's challenges. This is a substantial market, boasting a population of over 600 million people and an approximate $1 trillion GDP.
A significant block.
Very significant. One of Africa's largest economic communities. Now, looking specifically at its import market for our focus sectors, cleaning products and plastics, COMESA countries collectively imported $1.36 billion worth of cleaning products and $11.7 billion in plastic products in 2023. That totals an impressive $13.07 billion.
$13 billion just within COMESA for those items.
That's right. That's a significant demand right within its immediate economic neighborhood.
Okay, and the other block?
Then we have SADC, the Southern African Development Community. This community consists of 16 Southern African countries, with Zimbabwe also being a key member.
Right. SADC is very well known.
It is. SADC's main goals revolve around deepening regional integration, facilitating trade, reducing poverty, and ensuring sustainable development through joint projects and policies. The SADC region itself represents a significant economic power in Africa, with vast natural resources and growing economies.
And their import figures for these products.
SADC's total import figures for cleaning products in 2023 were $1.39 billion, and for plastic products, they reached $6.81 billion. That totals $8.21 billion.
So another $8 billion market right there.
Exactly. Again, these are immediate, accessible markets.
So the implication for Zimbabwe here seems profound.
It is profound and multi-layered. These figures from AfCFTA, COMESA, and SADC collectively underscore an immense, largely untapped intra-African market potential. For Zimbabwe, this isn't just about trying to substitute its own imports, which is, a crucial first step.
Yeah, you have to start there.
You do. But it also represents powerful opportunities to become a regional supplier, significantly reducing its reliance on extracontinental imports and dramatically boosting its trade balance.
Moving from importer to exporter within the region.
Precisely. Developing domestic production in these key areas means not only fulfilling local needs, but also capturing a share of this vast regional demand. This could fundamentally transform its economic narrative from a dependent importer to a regional industrial player.
Imagine that.
Imagine Zimbabwean-made cleaning products or plastic items being competitively sold not just in Harare, but also in Lusaka, Gaborone, maybe even Accra. That's the scale of opportunity we're talking about here.
So what does this all mean for Zimbabwe's staggering import figures in these key sectors? Faced with these very real challenges, but also these immense regional opportunities we've just discussed, there's a fascinating and very specific proposal outlined in our sources. A way for Zimbabwe to tackle these issues head-on. It's called the Zimbabwe State Plastics and Cleaning Products Manufacturing Schools Project. And this isn't just envisioned as a vocational training center. It's meant to be a potent catalyst for practical, grassroots industrialization.
A manufacturing school. Interesting concept.
Yeah, the core objective is to be an open, technical knowledge transfer education initiative. It's specifically designed to teach the manufacturing and sales of essential plastic and cleaning products, the very items causing those alarming trade deficits we talked about.
Right, addressing the problem directly.
Directly. The idea is simple, yet powerful. Empower individuals to become producers, to create, not just consume. The target audience is aspiring entrepreneurs who are referred to as students within the project.
Okay.
They would first receive intensive, hands-on manufacturing training and production experience. And this isn't just classroom theory. It's about actually making things from raw materials, experiencing the process from start to finish.
Learning by doing.
Exactly. After mastering production, these students would then apply their new skills in real-world sales scenarios, learning the full economic cycle from creation to market.
So production and business skills.
Both. And what's particularly innovative and, frankly, quite brilliant about this school is its approach to sustainable financing.
Yeah.
The project aims to fund its own operations by selling the very products manufactured by the students themselves.
Ah, so it pays for itself in theory.
That's the idea. It creates this self-sustaining ecosystem where the act of learning directly contributes to the institution's revenue, creating a virtuous cycle of education and production.
Clever. Who's behind it?
The project is spearheaded by an international entrepreneurs association working closely with local partners within Zimbabwe. So it brings together global expertise with that crucial local understanding. It's a truly practical, hands-on approach to economic transformation built on the principle of learning by doing and self-sufficiency. Let's delve deeper into the detailed project process because, as we mentioned, it's all about learning by doing, moving beyond abstract theory to tangible creation.
Right. How does it actually work day to day?
Well, it begins with a solid theoretical foundation. Students receive structured education from experienced professionals first. This ensures they grasp the why behind the how, understanding the principles before diving into practice.
Makes sense.
Following this, they undergo practical skills assessments through manufacturing tests. These are designed to ensure they've truly grasped the foundational understanding, and it effectively filters for aptitude and readiness for the next, more intensive stage.
Okay, a practical test.
Yeah. Successful students then move into an intensive one-week practical production training. And here, they'll work as workers, directly manufacturing products with their own hands, side by side with experienced trainers.
So real factory floor experience.
Exactly. This isn't a simulation, it's actual commercial-grade production, giving them a real feel for industrial processes. Now, a critically important aspect of this practical training is meticulous knowledge capture and sharing. So all production processes, every step, every ingredient, every technique will be recorded via camera and detailed written documentation. This creates a comprehensive, easily accessible library of manufacturing and educational procedures.
Like building an internal knowledge base.
Precisely. These educational video recordings will then be made accessible to other students. This fosters a powerful culture of peer-to-peer knowledge and experience exchange, allowing insights and best practices to spread organically and efficiently within the school and potentially beyond.
That's smart, using the students' experience to teach others.
Yeah. But the training doesn't stop at production. Students are actively encouraged to be involved in sales and marketing.
Ah, the business side again.
Right. The goal here is ambitious, to cultivate their potential to establish their own businesses, becoming independent industrial entrepreneurs who can not only produce, but also bring products to market successfully.
Or become skilled employees.
Or, at the very least, become highly skilled and knowledgeable employees in existing enterprises, ready to contribute meaningfully from day one. This holistic approach ensures they understand both manufacturing and crucial market dynamics.
And what about students who struggle?
That's a good point. The project offers crucial, empathetic support. They won't be left behind. They'll be given opportunities for repeat training or to transition to other modules where their talents might be better suited.
Okay, so there's flexibility.
Yes, ensuring they remain engaged and acquire suitable, valuable qualifications. It's a system designed for broad success, not just for the elite few.
That raises an important question, though. What kind of practical, specific skills would these students actually be gaining at such an institute?
Good question. The curriculum outlined in the project plan is incredibly detailed and practical. It's designed to directly address the very import deficits we discussed earlier.
So targeted skills.
Very targeted. It provides hands-on expertise across a diverse product range, structured into 18 distinct modules.
18 modules. Okay.
For cleaning products, there are 11 modules covering a wide array of household and industrial items. This includes common necessities like surface cleaners, bleach, dish detergent, liquid hand soap, and window cleaner, the everyday essentials.
The basics, yeah.
Beyond these, students will learn to formulate and produce fabric softener, descalers, carpet shampoo, degreasers, and even specialized grout cleaner. So it extends their skills to a pretty comprehensive range of cleaning solutions.
Covering a lot of ground.
Definitely. And interestingly, and I think quite foresightfully, the cleaning products curriculum also includes an important module on plastics classification for recycling.
Linking the two sectors right from the start.
Exactly. Highlighting the deep interconnectedness of these industries and the vital move towards a circular economy right from the outset.
It makes a lot of sense. What about the plastic side?
Then for plastic products, there are 7 modules focusing on the entire life cycle of plastics. This begins with recycling manufacturing, teaching students how to process waste plastics into usable raw materials, basically turning refuse into resource.
Very important.
Very. It then moves into specific production techniques, like injection molding. This is crucial for creating precise plastic parts like bottle caps, gears, other intricate components that require high accuracy.
Right, the small, detailed parts.
Exactly. Another vital technique covered is blow molding. This is used for general plastic items and, crucially, for manufacturing large containers, specifically in 5-liter, 10-liter, 20-liter, and 30-liter capacities.
The bottles for the cleaning products.
Precisely. These are the very bottles needed for packaging the cleaning products they'll also be learning to make. It creates a kind of internal supply chain within the school's curriculum.
That's really well integrated.
Yeah. The curriculum also includes comprehensive raw material training for both injection and blow molding, ensuring students understand the properties, selection, and optimal use of different polymers like HDPE and PT. And finally, plastic extrusion training is included, which is fundamental for producing things like plastic sheets, pipes, films, and profiles, further broadening their manufacturing capabilities.
So a really comprehensive skill set.
It is. This curriculum is designed to equip students not just with isolated skills, but with a deep, practical, and interconnected understanding of both product categories and their manufacturing processes, creating truly versatile industrial entrepreneurs. Moving on to the strategic timeline, the project lays out clear, actionable goals and a phased implementation plan. It covers short, medium, and long-term objectives.
Okay, so it's structured.
Very structured. It ensures a manageable approach to building this manufacturing capability, like a carefully engineered blueprint for growth.
Let's hear about the phases.
The short-term goals, designated as Cur 1, which we can think of as Course 1, maybe the first intensive phase or module, cover the initial 3 months, and they focus squarely on foundational setup.
Getting the basics in place.
Exactly. This critical phase involves identifying potential industrial entrepreneurs, trainers, workers, and sectoral management representatives, essentially finding and recruiting the right talent to drive the initiative forward.
People are key.
Absolutely. Key administrative tasks include establishing a professional counseling department, preparing the very first workshop, which will initially focus on cleaning products, remember, and setting up a robust financing system to support future entrepreneurs emerging from the school.
Thinking ahead about funding the graduates.
Yes. They'll also create a supplier authorization system for the school itself, establish a dedicated management board and documentation system, define a clear product brand for the goods produced, and plan for the next personnel call and workshop topic. It's all about building that robust groundwork, piece by piece.
Makes sense. What about the medium term?
The medium-term goals span the second and third quarters, labeled Cur 2 and Cur 3. In the second quarter, Cur 2, the focus shifts intensively to personnel training.
Okay, training the people they recruited.
Right. From 30 carefully selected candidates, the management board will select 1 sector management rep, 3 trainer candidates, 9 entrepreneur candidates, and 17 worker candidates. Each of these individuals will then receive theoretical and practical training for 6 specific products.
Very specific numbers and roles.
Very specific. This phase also importantly includes initiating the first sales and promotional activities for the manufactured products, immediately linking production to the market. Successful candidates will be certified with vocational qualification documents.
Getting certified, good.
And to foster leadership and collaborative spirit, a management culture will be cultivated among entrepreneur candidates by forming teams. Preparations will also begin for the next student intake and product development stage.
Planning for continuity.
Always. Then, in the third quarter, Cur 3, the emphasis is on applied training and business development, moving from intensive training to real-world application.
Putting the skills to work.
Exactly. Successful Cur 2 entrepreneur and worker students will receive 3 months of contract manufacturing application training, essentially putting their skills to work in a commercial setting, producing for sale.
Real-world pressure.
Simultaneously, Cur 2 trainers and sectoral management reps will undergo 3 months of in-service application training, further honing their expertise. Entrepreneur students will receive vital business management and sales marketing training.
Crucial skills for running a business.
Absolutely. Equipping them not just to make products, but to successfully launch and manage independent ventures. Supplier authorization training will commence, expanding the network of local suppliers, and the school will prepare for its next student intake.
Building the ecosystem.
Right. Finally, the long-term goals, or Cur 4, cover the fourth quarter and focus on scaling up and achieving genuine self-sufficiency.
Okay, the final phase.
This critical phase involves securing contract manufacturing agreements for the school to launch its products commercially. It means fully integrating successful Cur 3 students, both entrepreneurs and workers, into the school's ongoing operations.
So they become part of the school's workforce.
Or potentially move on to start their own thing. Because, importantly, suppliers will be granted the right to use their own brands. This fosters a wider ecosystem of independent local producers rather than a centralized monopoly.
Encouraging independent businesses too.
Definitely. Robust financing systems will be established specifically to help students set up their own independent businesses, creating a wave of new enterprises. The school will continue its student intake and, importantly, publish quarterly reports for industrial evaluation of manufacturing and product status.
Transparency and accountability.
Yes, ensuring continuous improvement, transparency, and accountability for its impact on national industrialization. It's a comprehensive, phased approach designed for sustainable, systemic change.
You know, this project isn't just an educational initiative in a vacuum. It seems underpinned by a remarkably strong market and demand rationale.
That's right. Our sources clearly identify plastics and cleaning products as fundamental consumer staples, essential for daily needs across all households.
Which means there's a constant inherent demand, right? Less susceptible to economic ups and downs. People always need to clean products, always need packaging.
Exactly. And the market research conducted for this project highlights high consumption rates within Zimbabwe, but simultaneously reveals a significant shortage of domestic manufacturers and, crucially, skilled workers capable of meeting this demand.
So a clear gap in the market.
A very clear and substantial market gap that the manufacturing school aims to fill. It effectively tries to turn a current economic vulnerability, that massive import bill we discussed, into a strategic opportunity for local production, job creation, and foreign currency retention.
It's about empowering local talent to capture existing local demand. Makes perfect sense. And to ensure the products created through this initiative don't just, sit in a warehouse, the project seems to have a clear promotion and infrastructure strategy as well.
Yes, it does. For market access, the plans are quite proactive. They include organizing promotional activities and establishing vital connections with wholesalers and markets across the country.
So getting the product out there.
Absolutely. This ensures that the products manufactured by the students aren't just produced, but are successfully distributed and sold, which in turn reinforces the school's self-financing model and provides that real-world sales experience for the entrepreneurs.
Right, closing the loop. What about equipment?
In terms of equipment, the initial setup includes sample training machines. These are for prototyping and iterative development. Alongside those are cleaning product manufacturing machines, designed for efficient one-ton production units.
So proper industrial scale, even in training.
Yes, these machines are integral to providing hands-on, realistic production experience that mirrors actual industrial output. Operational planning is also meticulously detailed. There are weekly activity plans for the school's setup, covering everything from getting permits and licenses, procuring equipment, securing the technical workforce, administrative organization, right through to launching marketing activities.
Very detailed planning.
Very. This is complemented by monthly training activity plans that systematically cover all the cleaning and plastic product categories, ensuring a structured, comprehensive, and continuous learning environment. It's a plan that considers both making the product and getting it into the hands of consumers. This proposed manufacturing school isn't just about practical training, is it? It seems to embody a broader strategic philosophy of industrial development.
That's a great point. It's not simply about teaching someone to make soap.
No, it's about understanding how that singular act of making soap can potentially trigger a cascade of economic activity, weaving together different sectors into a stronger national fabric. Let's dig deeper into this interconnected thinking, particularly what our sources refer to as the industrialization weaving concept.
Ah, yes, the weaving analogy. I found that quite insightful.
Me too. It's a surprisingly organic approach to economic growth.
It is. And what's truly fascinating here, a key insight from our sources, is this idea that industrialization isn't necessarily a single massive brute force leap.
Right, not flipping a switch.
No, it's more like a carefully woven step-by-step process, much like building a strong, intricate tapestry thread by thread. Our sources explicitly suggest a sequential development model for a nation's industry. It's really about building a robust foundation before you attempt to add the complex upper floors.
So what's the proposed sequence?
The proposed sequence for this weaving process starts with cleaning products as a foundational core sector.
Okay, starting with the basics we focused on.
Exactly. From there, it suggests a logical progression to plastic products, which, as we've already seen, are inherently linked through packaging and supply chain needs. This would then be followed by plastic recycling, creating that vital circular economy loop and adding value from waste.
Makes sense. Recycling feeds back into plastics.
Precisely. And finally, progressing to CNC and other iron processing industries, which are more technologically advanced and represent a deeper level of industrial sophistication.
So a clear pathway from basic to more complex.
Yes. The rationale behind this step-by-step approach is incredibly compelling. It emphasizes that basic industries, especially those producing established consumer goods that meet immediate local demand, must be firmly established and, ideally, self-sufficient before a country can successfully develop more complex sectors like, say, agricultural machinery or advanced food processing.
Because those rely on the foundational industries.
Exactly. These more complex industries critically rely on underlying metalworking, precision engineering, and often domestic chemical and plastic inputs. By focusing on these accessible consumer goods first, a country initiates step-by-step industrialization. It allows various industrial branches to develop in tandem and support each other, creating a truly integrated economy.
And build skills along the way.
And build skills, infrastructure, and an entrepreneurial base. Furthermore, our sources highlight a crucial role for the state in this delicate process, suggesting the use of a dripping incentive system.
Dripping incentive, what does that mean?
It's not about massive, broad subsidies that can be inefficient or wasted. Instead, it's about providing small, targeted financial incentives that are precisely timed and allocated to maximize efficiency from limited funds. Much like carefully watering a garden drop by drop to ensure optimal growth without waste.
Strategic, precise, and hopefully highly effective.
That's the idea.
That weaving concept truly gets at the heart of integrated development. And the research takes this idea even further, presenting the cleaning products industry not just as a standalone sector, but as an economic synergy engine.
Ah, the synergy engine. I like that term too.
Yeah. It drives growth across many others. This is where you really see how seemingly simple products can have a profound cascading ripple effect throughout an entire economy, compelling innovation in sometimes unexpected places.
Let's break down those interacting sectors and their development dynamics, because this is a key insight, I think.
Okay. First, there's the chemistry industry. The constant evolving demand from cleaning products driven by consumer preferences, environmental concerns, you name it, inevitably pushes the chemistry sector to innovate.
How so?
We're talking about developing new, more effective molecules, greener chemicals, sustainable raw materials. Think about the move towards natural ingredients, hypoallergenic products, or the regulatory pressures for biodegradability.
Right, consumer and regulatory pressure.
Exactly. Alongside performance expectations, like needing more cleaning power with less product. This directly fuels advanced R&D and deepens specialization in chemical engineering within the country, building a high-skill knowledge base.
So cleaning products drive chemical innovation. What else?
Next, the plastic sector is absolutely essential and directly benefits. Plastic packaging bottles, caps, spray triggers, pouches, it's indispensable for cleaning products.
We saw that connection with the school curriculum, too.
We did. This creates a huge consistent demand that forces the plastic sector to innovate in areas like new polymer compositions for lighter, more durable packaging, and to develop faster, more efficient production techniques. This directly drives the utilization of advanced technologies like blow molding for bottles, using materials like HDPE, PET, and injection molding for precise parts like caps and spray mechanisms.
Requiring precision engineering.
Right. Then we have the machine, mold, and automation industry. The sophisticated production of both plastic packaging and the precise filling of cleaning products requires highly specialized machinery and molds.
Okay, the machines that make the bottles and fill them.
Exactly. This demand directly drives the development of high-precision CNC computer numerical control machining for creating those intricate molds, as well as automatic filling, capping, and packaging lines. This is all spurred by the relentless need for high production volumes, quick product changes to adapt to market demands, and stringent quality control standards. It pushes the entire engineering sector forward.
So cleaning products indirectly drive advanced manufacturing tech.
Pretty much. The R&D and innovation sector is also significantly and continuously impacted. The cleaning products industry's unceasing need for new formulations, more effective ingredients, eco-friendly packaging, efficient production processes. It mandates continuous research and development.
Constant need for improvement.
Constant. This fosters crucial collaborations between cleaning product firms, universities, research institutes, and startups. This cross-sectoral synergy enriches the entire scientific and technological ecosystem in material science, biochemistry, chemical engineering, sustainability. It's truly a virtuous cycle of innovation, feeding innovation.
And the recycling aspect.
And finally, the recycling and circular economy benefits immensely and is increasingly integrated. The increasing use of plastic packaging inherently underscores the vital role of the recycling sector.
Can't have one without the other, responsibly anyway.
Exactly. The industry's goal is to incorporate more recycled content into products and to design packaging that is inherently recyclable, actively accelerate the development of robust recycling infrastructures, from advanced collection and separation systems to innovative processing technologies. This not only dramatically improves waste management, but also generates entirely new business models and supports the crucial transition to a circular economy, where resources are continuously reused and waste is minimized.
It really is a powerful, interconnected engine when you lay it out like that. And expanding on those points, the future trends and potential development areas stemming from this deep synergy are truly exciting and forward-looking.
Yeah.
We can anticipate a significant shift towards bio-based and sustainable chemicals.
Also moving away from fossil fuels.
Exactly. Moving away from fossil fuel-derived chemicals to plant-based or maybe biotechnologically produced raw materials. This would not only make the industry more sustainable, but also further develop a nation's bioeconomy and green chemistry sectors, positioning it for future leadership in environmentally conscious manufacturing.
Right. What else?
Our sources also surprisingly mention the development of paints dyes, suggesting an indirect or parallel growth in home and industrial paint manufacturing alongside enhanced consumer interaction in this context.
Interesting link.
It demonstrates how a foundational industry can ripple out into seemingly distinct but ultimately related sectors. Furthermore, the demand for personalized cleaning solutions, maybe customized formulations or adaptable distribution systems that will stimulate further R&D and personalized production technologies, catering to evolving consumer needs and market segmentation.
Tailoring products more.
Yes. And critically, continuous advancements across cleaning products, plastic products, and CNC manufacturing will necessitate the formation of robust maintenance systems to support a sustainable circular economy, ensuring longevity, efficiency, and continuous operation across these interconnected industries.
Maintaining the whole system.
Exactly. Now, to truly maximize this immense synergy, our sources outline clear, actionable policy recommendations for governments.
What do they suggest?
Policymakers are urged to proactively promote intersectoral cooperation. Things like joint R&D projects between chemical, plastic, and cleaning product manufacturers, facilitating information sharing platforms, offering common investment incentives that encourage collaboration rather than competition.
Breaking down silos.
Precisely. They should also implement forward-thinking, sustainability-focused regulations, encouraging the use of recycled content in packaging, bio-based raw materials, circular packaging designs that minimize waste.
Setting the right framework.
Yes. And lastly, and perhaps most fundamentally, strengthening skilled workforce development is paramount. This means investing in training and education, particularly in relevant fields like chemical engineering, material science, industrial automation, and circular economy principles.
Investing in people again.
Always. This holistic approach ensures that the cleaning products industry, though seemingly simple, acts as a powerful, multifaceted engine for broad economic growth, technological advancement, and environmental sustainability.
Okay, building on that strategic thinking and understanding the multi-layered synergy that can be unleashed from carefully chosen industries, an expert in our sources, İsmail ERCAN, proposes a truly dedicated institutional framework. He calls it an industrialization institute.
Ah, the institute concept.
Yes, he sees it as a potential game changer for nations struggling with industrial development, much like Zimbabwe. It represents an insightful shift from fragmented efforts to a truly comprehensive, integrated approach.
This raises a truly important question that İsmail ERCAN addresses head-on, doesn't it? Why is it that simply expecting individual entrepreneurs, however brilliant or driven, to single-handedly drive national industrialization is often, well, not realistic or sufficient?
Right. Why isn't the free market enough on its own in this context?
Well, individual entrepreneurs, while certainly the engine of much innovation, often lack comprehensive knowledge of critical macro-level factors. They might not have a full understanding of complex foreign trade dynamics, knowing precisely what to import, what to export, and where those global markets are for specific products.
The bigger picture stuff.
Exactly. They may also lack the deep, detailed product engineering expertise required for efficient, high-quality production or insights into complex financing mechanisms needed for scaling up. Crucially, they often don't possess an understanding of the domestic equivalents of currently imported goods or the strategic opportunities these represent.
Blind spots, essentially.
Significant blind spots. This knowledge gap creates immense challenges for individual ventures, often leading to painfully low success rates. ERCAN points out that, as an example, only about 3% of Turkish firms currently export.
Only 3%.
That's the figure he uses to illustrate his point that carrying water with a sieve doesn't turn the mill.
That's a great phrase.
It is evocative, isn't it? It implies that uncoordinated individual efforts, no matter how earnest or numerous, are simply inefficient and insufficient to drive large-scale national industrialization. We need a more structured, collective, and guided approach. So the proposed solution, the Industrialization Institute, as envisioned by İsmail ERCAN, is not merely a commission or a committee or some temporary task force.
It's a permanent fixture.
It's designed to be a distinct, dedicated national institution for systematic research and project development to truly drive and manage industrialization. Its core purpose is to overcome the inherent limitations of individual entrepreneurs by providing comprehensive, structured support right from concept to market, acting as a powerful central nervous system for industrial growth.
Okay, so how would it be structured? What are the key parts?
This institute would feature several key interconnected units, each playing a vital role. First, there's a foreign trade office.
Focused on imports and exports.
Exactly. This unit would be intensely proactive. It would identify and meticulously record products currently imported, the ones causing foreign currency outflow that could be produced domestically. Its explicit goal is to reduce the national import bill and conserve precious foreign currency.
Import substitution focus.
Yes. Simultaneously, it would research and identify potential export markets in other countries. Kenya, Tanzania, Canada, Kyrgyzstan are specifically mentioned for certain products in the source, for goods that can be produced domestically. This office would then provide entrepreneurs with ready-made projects and direct assistance in navigating complex export procedures, essentially acting as a crucial assistant to facilitate global sales, bridging that gap between local production and international markets.
Holding their hand through the export process.
Pretty much. Then there's the engineering office. This is where the core technical heavy lifting happens. It conducts thorough technical examinations of potential products to determine their feasibility for domestic production, gathering all necessary technical information and precise engineering specifications.
The technical how-to.
Exactly. This office works closely with entrepreneurs and other units to ensure projects are technically sound, scalable, and successfully executed, providing the blueprints for success. These two critical offices feed into the project bank and database.
A central repository.
Yes, a central dynamic repository that lists all identified import substitution opportunities and export potential products. And crucially, each listing comes with a ready engineering project file.
Wow, so the technical work is already done.
Much of it, yes. Removing a significant hurdle for entrepreneurs who often struggle with initial technical development and feasibility studies. To fund and scale these ventures, a dedicated finance unit would work directly with the project bank.
Connecting projects to money?
Precisely. Identifying and providing tailored financial support for projects, particularly those with strong export potential. It functions as a strategic partner to both the engineering office and the entrepreneur, ensuring financial viability and access to capital. The training office is also absolutely vital to building sustainable human capital.
The skills aspect again.
Yes. It offers ongoing training for trainers, entrepreneurs, workers, and engineers, ensuring a continuously skilled, adaptable workforce. It develops standardized training procedures based on the technical expertise provided by the engineering office and plays a crucial role in accrediting external trade personnel. This office ensures, quote, absolute success through continuous supervision, evaluation, and certification of entrepreneurs.
Quality control for people.
In a way, yes. Acting as a quality control mechanism for human capital development. Before full-scale production, a prototype workshop provides a hands-on, immersive environment.
Like the manufacturing school's practical training.
Similar idea, where entrepreneurs can physically learn production processes, directly interact with machines, and create prototypes, moving efficiently from abstract theory to tangible output. It's where ideas become reality. And finally, overseeing the entire strategic direction is the Industrial Policies and Targets Office.
The big picture view.
Exactly. This unit formulates macro-level industrial policies and sets ambitious but achievable future targets, for instance, designating specific regions for particular industrial specializations, maybe like Gaziantep textile machinery production, creating focused industrial clusters.
Strategic zoning.
Yes, it integrates reports and data from all other units to assess progress, ensuring policy alignment, effectiveness, and continuous improvement. And all these units would operate under an overarching industrialization management system. Is that right?
That's the idea. A sophisticated system that would collect and score data from all units, generating an industrialization index or score.
To track progress numerically.
Exactly, to quantitatively track national and even regional progress. So you could visualize a metric like Gaziantep's industrialization score rose from 40 to 50, providing clear, measurable indicators of success and allowing for data-driven adjustment.
Very systematic.
Very. The underlying philosophy of this entire approach is a profound shift from a reactive model where the state simply waits for individual entrepreneurs to bring their ideas, often haphazardly, to a proactive one. Here's a ready project, here's the support, here's the market analysis, let's make it happen.
Taking the initiative.
Precisely. It aims to systematically leverage the existing pool of skilled individuals, engineers, master craftsmen, technicians, vocational school graduates, by providing them with the necessary structure, resources, and clear pathways to success, thereby addressing the national industrialization challenge head-on.
And ERCAN believes this system effectively closes every path to failure for entrepreneurs.
That's his assertion, ensuring absolute success by removing common roadblocks. After achieving a certain level of exporting competence, entrepreneurs would then be given their own workshop and continuous mentorship, eventually becoming fully independent, self-sustaining industrial players.
Multiplying the Institute's impact over time.
That's the vision, creating a ripple effect of industrial growth. Now, to truly appreciate the potential of these modern blueprints for industrialization, let's take that powerful journey back in time we mentioned, to a compelling historical example where a young nation, much like Zimbabwe today, faced immense economic challenges and opted for a strategic, state-led industrial transformation.
Right, the Turkish example.
We're talking about Turkey's first five-year industrial plan, implemented between 1934 and 1938. This isn't just history class, it's a living lesson in economic fortitude.
Understanding the context is crucial here. What was happening in Turkey beforehand?
Well, the pre-plan context in Turkey in the early 1930s was one of profound economic distress for the young republic. He was severely impacted by the global Great Depression, which, as you know, originated in the U.S. and rippled worldwide.
A terrible time globally.
Terrible. On top of that, Turkey was burdened by significant Ottoman-era debts, which it had formally undertaken at the Lausanne Treaty. There was an urgent and palpable need for true economic independence, not just political sovereignty.
A drive for self-reliance.
Absolutely. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the visionary founder of the Republic, had emphasized economic sovereignty as the cornerstone of political independence way back at the First Izmir Economic Congress in 1923, even before the Republic was formally established. So it was a long-term strategic vision.
But early attempts at private-led development didn't work out.
No, they proved insufficient to meet the national needs. This was partly due to customs exemptions, a legacy of previous treaties that lasted until 1929, which made imported goods cheaper than domestically produced ones. That severely hindered the growth of local industry.
Undercutting local producers.
Exactly. There was also a notable disconnect with the national economic vision. The nascent private sector sometimes tended to hoard cheap imports, as seen during a market crisis in 1929, rather than investing in long-term domestic production capacity. So the sheer scale of the global economic crisis, combined with the lack of widespread success from private ventures and also the observed effectiveness of planned economies, particularly the Soviet Union at the time, ultimately propelled Turkey towards a statist economic policy.
State-led development.
Yes. This was initially defined as moderate statism by Prime Minister İsmet İnönü. The appointment of Celal Bayar as Minister of Economy, despite some opposition from those advocating for purely private enterprise, clearly signaled the government's unwavering determination to overcome business community reluctance and pursue a more directed, state-led approach to industrialization.
A pragmatic response to crisis.
It really was
Yeah.
a pragmatic response to an existential economic crisis.
And building on that critical historical context, the meticulous preparation and establishment of key institutions were absolutely crucial to the eventual success of Turkey's first 5-year industrial plan.
Right, it wasn't just a plan on paper.
No, not at all. The planning process itself was informed by diverse international expertise. Notably, it involved both Soviet experts, led by Professor Orlov, who studied key sectors like cotton, linen, hemp, chemicals, and iron,
Okay.
and also American experts. This shows a really pragmatic approach to gathering the best available knowledge for national development, regardless of the source.
Taking good ideas from anywhere.
Precisely. A cornerstone of this transformation was the founding of Summer Bank in 1933. Now, this institution was far more than just a bank.
You mentioned it became the headquarters.
Exactly. It replaced earlier, less effective organizations and quickly became the true central headquarters of the industrial movement. Summer Bank was given a broad and ambitious mandate. It was tasked with managing existing state factories, meticulously preparing new industrial projects, providing essential credit to support these ventures, and undertaking comprehensive personnel training.
Training again.
Yes, training engineers, technicians, skilled workers both domestically in new institutions and factories, and by sending promising students abroad for specialized education. It was a truly holistic approach to building industrial capacity, recognizing that human capital was just as important as physical infrastructure.
Absolutely vital. Were there other key institutions?
Yes, beyond Summer Bank, other vital state-backed institutions played crucial roles. Ace Bank, though technically a private bank, was a key participant in many industrial projects, demonstrating a blend of public and private efforts.
It's an interesting mix.
Eddy Bank, another state entity, focused specifically on mining and energy, actively acquiring foreign-held operations to bring key natural resources under national control. The Mineral Research and Exploration Institute, MTA, was established for systematic geological surveys, crucial for identifying domestic raw material sources that would feed the new industries.
Finding their own resources.
Exactly. And the Electrical Works Survey Administration was tasked with comprehensive energy planning and assessing hydroelectric potential, providing the foundational infrastructure needed for future industrial growth. These institutions collectively formed a powerful, coordinated engine for state-led development, ensuring that the plan had both the strategic intelligence and the practical tools for comprehensive implementation. So the first 5-year plan itself, it was meticulously guided by very clear principles and strategically targeted specific sectors, wasn't it?
Yes, embodying a focused and pragmatic approach to national industrialization.
Its guiding principles, as I understand it, prioritize industrial facilities that could use domestically produced or procurable raw materials.
Right, ensuring self-sufficiency and reducing reliance on expensive imports.
These projects also needed to require substantial capital and advanced technology, indicating a forward-looking vision for industrial depth and sophistication, not just simple assembly.
Aiming high from the start.
Yes. And crucially, the production capacities were specifically designed to meet internal consumption needs. First, a clear strategy of import substitution aimed directly at reducing the country's trade deficit and strengthening its economic independence.
So which sectors did they target specifically?
The plan strategically focused on 5 main industrial branches, chosen for their foundational importance and potential for domestic raw material utilization. First, textiles. Cotton, hemp, and wool.
Basic consumer goods linking to agriculture.
Precisely. Crucial for clothing and fabrics, with readily available domestic raw materials. Second, mining, focusing on essential resources like iron, coal, and copper.
The building blocks of heavy industry.
Fundamental for heavy industry, energy production, and manufacturing machinery. Third, cellulose. This covered paper, cardboard, and artificial silk.
Communication, packaging.
Foundational for those, and specialized textiles, reducing reliance on imported paper products. Fourth, ceramics, including glass and porcelain, important for everyday household items, construction, and specialized industrial uses. And fifth, chemicals.
Chemicals again. Linked to cleaning products, maybe?
Absolutely. Targeting basic chemicals like chlorine, phosphate, and caustic soda, which are fundamental inputs for various other industries, including, very pertinently for our earlier discussion, cleaning products.
Okay. How was the investment allocated?
The investment allocation reflected these strategic priorities. Almost 50% of the total resources went to textiles, followed by mining, showing where the immediate impact was sought.
Big focus on textiles.
Yes. And crucially, a small but significant portion, 1.2% of resources, was dedicated to sending students abroad for technical education, alongside robust training programs for masters and workers in domestic institutions and the new factories themselves.
That dual approach to skills again.
Yes, emphasizing building both advanced human capital and a broad base of skilled labor, recognizing that industrialization is ultimately driven by people. It laid the groundwork for a truly self-reliant and industrially capable nation. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the actual implementation of Turkey's first 5-year plan offers concrete, really inspiring lessons in perseverance and strategic focus. It demonstrates that even with significant challenges, truly transformative progress is possible.
It wasn't smooth sailing then.
No, by no means a smooth, problem-free journey. Despite initial projections of 44 million lira, the plan ultimately cost nearly 100 million lira.
More than double the initial estimate. Why?
A combination of factors. The looming threat of the Second World War impacted supply chains and costs. There were necessary capacity increases during implementation as demand grew faster than expected. And frankly, the initial immaturity of some of the large-scale projects led to unforeseen expenses.
Understandable challenges for such ambition.
Very understandable. Nevertheless, the achievements were remarkable. By 1938, a staggering 19 out of the 23 planned factories had either been fully established or were actively under construction.
19 out of 23 in just 4 or 5 years. That's impressive execution.
Immense political will and executive capability. Key factories and industries established during this period dramatically reshaped Turkey's industrial landscape. In textiles, foundations were laid for major facilities like the Kayseri and Ereğli Bez factories, Nazilli Basma, Malatya cotton, Bursa Merino wool, Gemlik silk.
The whole network of textile plants.
Yes, between 1934 and 1937, most operational by 1938. It's worth noting that the Nazilli and Kayseri factories were significantly equipped using Soviet credit, highlighting that pragmatic international cooperation despite ideological differences.
Interesting. What about other sectors?
For paper, the critical first Esmet paper factory, managed by Mehmet Ali Kafuça, opened in 1936, proudly producing the country's first local paper, famously referred to as Civilization dough by Ataturk himself.
Civilization dough shows the importance placed on it.
Absolutely. The foundational Karabük Iron and Steel Works, initially planned to import iron, was eventually built with British credit after the MTA discovered local iron ore deposits in Divriği in 1937. It commenced operations in 1939, a perfect example of domestic resource discovery enabling strategic industrial shifts.
Finding their own iron ore changed the game.
Completely. The Pashabas glass factory in Istanbul was established by İşbank in 1935, though it initially required skilled workers from Bulgaria and Romania, illustrating that need for human capital transfer. 4 sugar factories were strategically consolidated into the state-backed Turkish Sugar Factories, Inc., rationalizing and strengthening a key agricultural processing industry. And investments in chemical plants, sulfuric acid, superphosphate, chlorine alkali faced delays but eventually opened by 1945, securing vital industrial inputs.
So a huge amount of infrastructure built very quickly. What was the economic impact?
The economic transformation resulting from this plan was striking and quantifiable. Most notably, Turkey's foreign trade balance shifted dramatically. From a consistent deficit between 1923 and 1929, figures like minus $48.7 million in 1929.
Right, they were importing more.
Yes, to a consistent surplus between 1930 and 1937, reaching a surplus of $20 million in 1936 and $18.6 million in 1937.
So complete turnaround in the trade balance. How?
Largely due to strategic bilateral trade agreements and the overwhelming success of those import substitution policies, making things at home instead of importing them.
Okay, and overall growth.
In terms of overall growth, over this 15-year period, from 1923 to 1938, Turkey achieved an impressive average annual GDP per capita growth of 8%. The figure rose from a modest $47.55 in 1923 to a more robust $89 in 1938.
8% annual growth per capita is huge over 15 years.
It's very significant growth.
Yeah.
And the broader legacy of the plan extends beyond mere factories. It not only built a strong industrial infrastructure and trained that vital cadre of experts, fostering national pride and capability, but it also accelerated the nationalization of foreign-owned enterprises.
Taking control of key assets.
Yes, including critical infrastructure like railways and Istanbul's water, electricity, and telephone companies. It was a comprehensive reassertion of economic sovereignty and national self-determination.
And as a final note on this fascinating historical period, it's interesting to know that a more ambitious second five-year industrial plan was actually prepared in 1936, wasn't it? Building on the success of the first.
That's right. This follow-up plan aimed for an even broader export-oriented focus. It included more mining, energy, machinery, even shipbuilding, reflecting a growing confidence and capability.
Moving towards exports after substituting imports.
Exactly. However, it was ultimately abandoned in 1939, replaced by an economic defense plan as the dark clouds of the Second World War gathered ominously over Europe.
Global events intervened.
Yes, demonstrating how even the most well-laid national plans can be dramatically shifted by global geopolitical events. It's a constant reminder of the need for adaptability in economic strategy.
We've journeyed through a truly expansive landscape today, haven't we?
We certainly have, from specific trade numbers to grand strategy and history.
We started with the stark realities of Zimbabwe's deep trade deficits in fundamental goods like plastics and cleaning products, highlighting a significant economic vulnerability that impacts everyday life.
Those coverage ratios were particularly striking.
They really were. We then explored the immense, largely untapped market potential within the AfCFTA, COMESA, and CECA-DC regional blocs, revealing how African integration could be a powerful engine for growth and a genuine opportunity for nations like Zimbabwe.
Turning neighbors into huge potential markets.
Exactly. From there, we delved into that pragmatic and innovative blueprint for a Zimbabwe manufacturing school project, designed to empower local entrepreneurs with hands-on skills and create self-sustaining production.
The learning by doing model.
Yes. We examined a comprehensive model for a National Industrialization Institute, offering a structured, proactive approach to overcome individual entrepreneurial limitations and systematize industrial growth.
Moving from reactive to proactive state support.
And finally, we took that powerful historical lesson from Turkey's transformative state-led industrialization in the 1930s, demonstrating that strategic plan development can yield remarkable results even in the most challenging times.
History providing concrete examples.
Absolutely. This deep dive reveals a profound truth, I think. Addressing trade imbalances and fostering economic independence isn't about isolated efforts or merely hoping for market forces to align perfectly.
No, it requires deliberate action.
It's about strategic, integrated planning that meticulously connects policy with practical action. It's about leveraging those intersectoral synergies we discussed, truly understanding how one industry can powerfully feed and grow others.
The weaving and the engine concepts.
Right. It's about establishing dedicated, powerful institutions, like the proposed institute or like Zimmerbank historically, to guide and support industrial growth from the ground up. And at its heart, it's about empowering people, individuals, entrepreneurs, skilled workers with the skills, knowledge, opportunities to build their own futures and, in turn, their nation's prosperity.
It shows that economic transformation is not just possible, but achievable through deliberate, focused action.
It does. So considering all the insights we've uncovered today, from the specific alarming trade data of Zimbabwe to the holistic institutional models proposed by modern experts like ERCAN, and the undeniable successes of historical industrialization in Turkey, what might be the single most impactful, truly foundational step a nation like Zimbabwe could take today to fundamentally transform its economic narrative, to shift from being a net importer of essential goods to becoming a regional industrial powerhouse.
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. It's a question that demands deep thought and courageous strategic action. Something for all of us, and especially policymakers, to really ponder.